Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you see in the thumbnail, this is part 5 of What If Naruto Was the Devil Storm Emperor. Before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also go and support the author, link in description. In Naruto's room, Naruto slowly opened her eyes, yawned, sat up, and stretched, with her breasts bouncing a little. After looking at her sleeping twin for a moment, she crawled out of her brother's king-sized bed, and slowly exited the room, heading back to her own. When she arrived, she slipped out of her nightgown while mentally summoning a towel, and went into her own bathroom to shower. As she cleaned herself, her mind wandered back to the events of the aftermath of the final battle with the fallen angels. The morning after the battle, Spiral Corps Zero Squadron arrived at the battleground that was the church and cleaned up any evidence of the Uzumaki Namikaze siblings' battle with the fallen angels. During the initial sweeping, they found footprints of someone who appeared to be an observer behind a pillar. Upon closer scanning, the energy signature left by the footprints was not human. When sent to the Uzumaki mansion, Naruto identified it to be a devil's energy signature, but not Rias and her peerage, due to the fact that they entered through the front door after Naruto defeated Rainella, and had no reason to hide. Nevertheless, Naruto kept a sample of the energy to store later to trace the source. Out of the 3 fallen stooges of despair, Kalawarner was the only one to survive, as Naruto captured her with Kamui and sent her to his mindscape before sending her to his Tsukuyomi-scape to get the same hospitality Rainare received after their battle. Originally, Naruto and his sisters opted to wipe out the entirety of Rainella's group, until Rainare explained the whole situation to them, and begged them to spare Kalawarner, as she was in the boat as she was. It appeared that before the incident, Kalawarner was indifferent to Zeke and Middled, but absolutely despised Rainella, and couldn't stand her due to the former's disgust after hearing about what she did to become a fallen angel. Kalawarner herself became a fallen angel after reuniting with an old flame. Unfortunately, that old flame happened to be a devil in disguise, and tried to kill her, but she retaliated in self-defense. Despite her actions, she was banished from heaven, but found residence in the underworld, where she began her days working for the leader of the fallen angels, Azrael. When Rainella arrived, Kalawarner knew she couldn't be trusted, especially with what she'd done with her sister afterwards. When Kalawarner caught wind of Rainella's plans and her hold on Rainare, she tried to inform her superiors, but was confronted by Rainella, and after a brief fight, she lost after Rainella's newfound recruits, Zeke and Middled, blindsided and knocked her out, allowing Rainella to work her magic on her. After Ino and Nia confirmed her story after working their own magic on Kalawarner, the indebted fallen angel was on her knees, begging for mercy, and swore loyalty to them, joining Rainare as their second servant. Needless to say, Rainare was happy to have her friend beside her to serve Naruto and his sisters and family. Meanwhile, Asia was currently staying in one of the spare rooms in the old school buildings of the Occult Research Club, preparing herself to attend school with various arrangements being made for her future. As for the Uzumaki Namikaze siblings, well, they're back to doing whatever the heck they do before the start of the whole mess with the fallen angels, with one minor difference. Naruto caught wind of Rias' invitation to Naruto to join her group after she joked with Rias about joining her peerage. Naruto herself found it odd that Naruto was taking a long time to decide. Honestly, it's a simple yes or no after a few days thinking about it, so Naruto could only wonder what the hell's her twin is doing taking so long to answer. Besides, it's not like him. I'll get to the bottom of it later. Maybe I can get him to shed a few of his limeters while I'm at it. Our default is 20% after all, and he's running on 10 for some reason. Naruto thought as she stepped out of shower, grabbed a towel, and dried her blonde hair. Opening theme: Trip Innocent of D by Larval Stage Planning. SIDC Office, Saturday, after school, A/N. In some schools in Japan, kids go to school on Saturday for half a day. Check and mate. Ara, I lost again. Naruto and Akeno were playing a game of chess, in which Naruto just finished systematically destroying Akeno by moving his pieces to force her own pieces to move to different positions to trap her king. Despite that, Akeno was getting better, with the highlight of the match had her taking out his queen. I almost had you there. You truly are unpredictable. When will I ever win against you? She whined cutely. Yeah, I dunno. Naruto shrugged and looked at the board, but you have enough skills to take down even the most seasoned veteran of chess. That's a start. Aira, you really know how to have a girl feel good. Akeno giggled and leaned in close. By the way, there's another reason I came to you aside from challenging you to chess. Are you asking me out for a date, Akeno-chan? Naruto teased, making her blush. I wish. Anyway, Baku's wondering if you're free tomorrow morning. I am. Why? Well, Baku is planning on taking Issei out for some intensive early morning drills tomorrow, and she was wondering if you could join them. Good God in heaven, Akeno-chan, there are just so very many ways for me to say this to you. Never, not in a million years, absolutely not, no way, Jose, no chance, Lance, neat, negatory, nah, oh, and of course my own personal favorite of all time, man falling off of a cliff. PFF. Naruto ranted, making Akeno sweat dropped as Naruto continued, why should I help train the perv anyway? Well, since Issei-sen's part of Buko peerage, she won't tolerate him being weak, and she could learn a thing or two herself from you. Akeno explained, pointing a finger up. Well, since this is a request from a student, I'll accept, just to be there so that the Arogaki can focus on the training. Naruto grumbled and looked out the window. Just as well. While we were fighting the priests, he has gotten distracted by some of the female ones, which was why he was worst for wear that night. Akeno said, making the blonde grumble. That Arobaka. I'm starting to regret suggesting Rias-chan revive him after Kalawarner-chan stabbed him. Naruto muttered darkly. Oh Naruto, that's pretty evil. Akeno said, giggling. I have my moments. Naruto replied. No doubt. Also, our new member Asia-chan has chosen a place to live. I'm sure you already know where. I can only guess. The next morning. He's 30 minutes late. What's keeping him? Yawning, Naruto turned from the Hyudo residence to look at Rias, who had a faraway look on her face, not hearing what he said. And we lost her. Kiyomi said, laughing. She's been doing that a lot lately. Naruto muttered, and I doubt she's fantasizing about me. How do you know that? You're not in her club yet. Arwen pointed out. We're in the same class. Naruto replied, she hardly felt the paper ball Naruto threw at her head to get her attention a few days ago. It was pretty funny. How about you grope her? Just to bring her back to the real world. Karami suggested. Or prank her. Arwen added. I rather prank the Arobaka for being late. Naruto said as a window opened on the second floor and said Arobaka stuck his head out. Bibaku. Senpai. Gomenasai. I'll be right there. Issei shouted as he retreated back to his room. Hurry up. Naruto shouted, then smacked Rias on the back of her head. Ow. Hey oh. Rias held her head, how long was I dash? About a few minutes. Issei's finally awoken up and getting ready. What's on your mind? Naruto asked. Oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Rias assured him, making him shrug. Okay then. 5 minutes later, the 3 tracksuit-wearing students started the morning training drill with Naruto skating on rollerblades, Rias riding Issei's bike, and Issei himself was jogging ahead of them. Before they did, Naruto equipped Issei with shock collars, equipping them around his neck, biceps, and thighs after getting idea from a TV show from America called Killer Karaoke that was hosted by a jackass daredevil called Steve-O. When asked why by a crying Issei, Naruto answered that it was to keep his head in the game, and every time he gets distracted, Naruto would shock him. Hey, pull yourself together Issei. Rias snapped. Hi. Issei responded, panting as he jogged, I will become the harem king, after all. You have much of a chance becoming that as Konoha Academia getting their crutches on my family again if you continue to think with your other head. Naruto thought, shaking his head, wondering if he should shock him for that. Nah. Don't grumble. I don't want to see my servants being weak. I'll do my best, Bucko. When they arrived at a nearby playground, Naruto sat on a swing, observing the two devils exercising. Listen. Physical strength essentially determines your standing in the underworld. Especially for you, Issei. Rias lectured, pushing on his back to make his arms reach his feet. Got it. Issei squeaked, but his mind was elsewhere, her breasts. Her breasts. Hey! Rias jumped back as Issei got zapped, his body jerking around comically. Hi, I forgot to tell you that those shock collars also respond to your thoughts. Sorry. Naruto said. How cruel. Issei groaned as he recovered, why didn't you warn me? Just keep your mind out of the gutter, and you'll be fine, Gaki. Sorry, Rias-chan. No, it's okay. Let's continue. A while later, Rias had Issei doing multiple push-ups, while she sat on his back to increase the difficulty, much to Naruto's amusement. 63, 64, Gok. Do you understand? Given you ability, your power will increase with greater physical strength. Rias lectured before scowling and looked at Naruto. Hi. 65, 66, Gaa. Naruto lifted his thumb off the button of the remote control as Issei fell to the ground on a heap. What did I do? Issei squeaked, jerking about. You were having lecherous thoughts. Your hip movements gave you away. Rias scolded, scowling at her servant under her. But I can't help it. Issei protested as he got up off the ground on all fours, you being on me is cranking my animal lust to the max. Oh? If your energy is maxed out, then I guess that means you're improving. Shall we do another 100 of them? Rias asked with an eerie smile coupled with an evil aura. Issei wailed. You walked right into that one. Naruto sniggered as Kiyomi, Kurami, and Arwen's sweat dropped. After a few hours, Issei was face down on the ground, unable to move a single muscle. Thanks to Naruto's tips and pointers, Rias evolved into a real slave driver of a trainer with Issei suffering for it. However, he did surprisingly manage to keep his perverse nature in check so that Naruto won't shock him again. Well, that's all for today. Rias said, stretching a bit, let's take him back home. Allow me. Naruto said, producing his favorite cross-hand seal, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shadow Clone Jutsu. Rias looked on in intrigue as another Naruto popped into existence, put Issei over its shoulders like a sack of potatoes, and walked off, en route to the Hyudo residence as the real Naruto looked at the redhead's curious look. One of my signature jutsu, the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. It allows me to create multiple copies of myself. One of the best perks of the technique is that any experience the clones gain during their existence is transferred to yours truly once they're dispersed, making it ideal for training. I guess that explains why you and your family are so strong, right? Rias guessed, impressed. Yep, since the total amount of experience the user gain is multiplied by the total number of clones being used to train. For example, if a user creates one shadow clone and trains together with their clone for 1 hour, then dispels the clone, the user gains 2 hours of training in 1 hour by adding the hours of clone and the user together. While I practically have no limit to creating shadow clones, the most I usually make while training is around the hundreds, so you know what that means. By the 4 Satans! Rias exclaimed in her mind, realizing the implications. With the way Naruto's doing training that could take weeks or months, or even years can be completed in a few hours, you truly are amazing, Naruto-kun. Ah, come on. You're making me blush here. Naruto laughed, rubbing the back of his head, but of course, I can use shadow clones for more than training as well. They're good for spying and overwhelming the opponent and other stuff, as well as one perk I wish my dear perverted fox vixen kept to herself. You're welcome, Naru-kun. Kiyomi said in a sultry voice, making Naruto grumble mentally. Like what, Naruto-kun? Rias asked, while trying to quell some of her own perverted thoughts that threatened to rise within her as her face started to turn red. Oh why was she gifted with high intelligence? Not that it's a bad thing. Judging by your face changing color, I think you get the idea. Naruto said, grinning as Rias covered her face with her hands in embarrassment. Hentai, she squeaked. Hey, I'm not that bad. I'm not overly honest with my desires like the Three Stooges. I'm just a normal guy with a healthy libido who thinks with this head. Not the other. Naruto confessed, tapping his forehead with his finger. Besides, even a refined person can deny it, but we're all perverts in some way. I know you are too, being around Akeno-chan and all. Rumors in the school say that you two have an SM-type relationship. By this time, Ria's face became as red as her hair as her stuttering got worse to Naruto's amusement. Ah, it's so fun getting her flustered. Better stop before she starts blowing steam. Anyway, switching gears here, why don't you come with me and see how your new servant is settling in? Kmin. Jerking his head to the side, Naruto walked away with Rias following, planning on ways to get her crush back for the embarrassment. Uzumaki Mansion. I'm back. Naruto called out as he and Rias entered in through the doorway of the Uzumaki Mansion. Welcome home, Naruto-kun, one of the maids greeted. She has black hair with a dark blue shade that flowed down her back, onyx eyes, a beautiful face with a perfect figure, DD-cup breasts, and wearing a Dream Sea Club-style maid outfit, standard for all the maids in the Uzumaki clan. She is the unfortunate younger twin sister of Uchiha Sasuke, Uchiha Satsuki, and Rias Gremory-san. It's good to see you again. Same here, Uchiha-san. Rias greeted back, nodding her head. Please. Call me Satsuki. A friend of Naruto-kun is a friend to me. Satsuki said, with Rias nodding. Satsuki-chan. How's our newest addition to the family? Naruto asked, with Satsuki smirking. I believe she'll fit in well. Kushina-sama's taken quite the shine to her. We're keeping her away from Anko-sensei though. Don't want her to corrupt her this early and bring out the lioness lurking within. Satsuki reported, giggling in the end. Put that in a memo and entitle it No Kidding. Naruto deadpanned while Ria's sweat dropped, wondering if her newest servant will be okay here. Oh well. Better than putting her in the same house as Issei. Despite the fact that he's now a member of her peerage, she didn't like him that much due to him being part of the most perverted group at Kyoa Academy. He wasn't the kind of person one could rely on, not to mention that he's too obsessed with boobs. Kushina-sama's put her just a few doors down from your room on the second floor, Naruto-kun. You can check up on her there. Raineray's with her, and I swear they're bonding like long-lost sisters. Oh, and Rias-san, it's good that you're here, because Kushina-sama want to talk to you. Satsuki added. Do you know where I might find her, Satsuki-san? Rias said politely. She's in the back, where you'll find her at the eternal cherry blossom tree. Satsuki informed the redhead, I'll take you to her. Oh, and Naruto-kun, Mito-sama want to talk to you, Naruhei-chan, Naruko-chan, and Narumi-chan in the briefing room in an hour. It's a follow-up briefing to the previous mission you all took in Africa when you ran into Desperado's forces. Satsuki added, with Naruto nodding, his mood darkening a bit as he remembered what happened during that time. A couple weeks ago before Naruto had his life-changing battle with Raineray, Maverick Securities, a private military company allied with Spiral Corporation International asked them for assistance with protecting Prime Minister Enmani in Africa. So Spiral Corp deployed Naruhei, Naruto, Naruko, and Narumi to assist their top operative Raiden and his team with the job. All with going well until they were attacked by the rogue PMC Desperado, who were involved in terrorism. While Naruto and his sisters took care of the Metal Gear Rays and Raiden fended off Desperado foot soldiers, their de facto leader codenamed Sundowner managed to kidnap and execute the Prime Minister. After finishing off the last Metal Gear Ray, Naruto and his sisters arrived on a train just in time to save a severely damaged Raiden from Sundowner's comrade, Samuel Rodriguez aka Jetstream Sam, who retreated. The failure of the mission ate the four older Uzumaki Namikaze siblings up on the inside, and they vowed to make Desperado pay, especially that war-loving Sundowner, and make things right. Thanks Satsuki-chan. I'll see you two in a few. Naruto said as he made his way up to the third floor. This way, Rias-san. Satsuki said, leading Rias out to the back to where the special cherry blossom tree is. As they walked, they saw Naruna and the Yamanaka twins tending to the vast garden, Teiwa conversing with her ravenette best friend forever Tsukakin, and Ibana lying down on a glassy hill, looking up at the cloudy sky. When Satsuki and Rias got to the everlasting cherry blossom tree, they saw Kushina in a casual outfit sitting on one of the lower branches with a red 5th generation iPad in hand. "Kushina-sama," Satsuki called out, getting the redhead's attention. "Naruto-kun's back, and he bought Rias-san, who you wanted to talk to." "Hello again, Kushina-ka-san." Rias greeted, bowing her head to her fellow redhead. "You know it's too early to be calling me Ka-san, Rias." Kushina scolded lightly. "Thanks, Satsuki-chan. Now I need you to take Tenten-chan with you and head downtown." Hinata-chan just sent up a red flag because she noticed some agents from Konoha Academia tailing her. "Deal with them and pick her up." "Understood, Kushina-sama." Satsuki confirmed before disappearing via blaze-style shunshin, leaving just the two redhead, Kushina and Rias, the latter shocked at how Satsuki teleported. "You can do a lot of things when it comes to chakra." Like her fellow mates and unlike her duck-butt-haired idiot brother, she had her chakra naturally unlocked, and it made her strong. She even overcame the Uchiha clan's infamous curse of hatred, allowing her to use the purified Shin Sharinan. Kushina explained, because of that, she and her mother's under the protection of the Uzumaki Group and Spiral Corp so that the Uchiha Group and Konoha Academia won't get any funny ideas like using them as baby factories to make their own so-called superhuman army. No doubt it's because of that fact that your own family got you out of that school, right? "Why yes. How did you dash?" "I found an old class picture of you in my son's class when you both were in grade level in Konoha Academia." Kushina revealed while motioning for Rias to join her on the branch. Rias accepted and jumped up to the tree branch to sit down next to Kushina. Kushina then showed her the mentioned photograph on her iPad. "It's been a while since I saw this," Rias whispered, smiling at the picture with all the kids smiling, with the highlight of the picture being a young Naruto and Naruto smiling with cheesy grins with what appears to be a young Rias next to them, also smiling with them. "This is taken in your final year at Konoha Academia. There's no way Naruto or Naruto could forget you if you were their friend." "Did you dash?" "No, I didn't erase their memories of me. Never." Rias said loudly, "I wouldn't, because dash. You have a crush on my son, and it's slowly blossoming into love, right?" Kushina guessed teasingly. "Hi." Rias nodded, slightly blushing. "Well, if you want to be part of my Sachi's life like before, then I won't stop you. However, you should know that because of Naruto's heritage, he'll have multiple wives, a lot them by the way, and he already has a good start on that." Kushina said, grinning. "It's all right. I'm not the only one. My friend Akeno-chan has a crush on him as well. She's the vice president of the occult research club back at school. She and Naruto-kun always hang out at school during breaks." Rias explained. "I see. She must be the fellow chess player Naruto-kun talks about from time to time." Kushina thought, "Well, you and this Akeno girl better not betray my Naruto-kun, or else. The thought will never even occur." Rias assured her. "Good. Now, I need to find out my children don't remember you. The red Sharinan can't affect them, and their mental shields were moderate at best until they were enhanced when they went through their ascensions. Something or someone may have slipped something though their mental defenses sometime after you left that cursed school. Can you think of anyone who don't want you and Naruto-kun together?" Kushina asked, with Rias nodding. "There's maybe one, but he and his family don't have any mages in their family that can pull off a memory block spell since they mostly focused on offensive combat." Rias said. "Is there something about this guy that I should know about?" Kushina asked, frowning when Rias looked away with a sad look on her face. "Oops. Look like I've treaded across a sensitive area, but what with this guy who may not want my Sachi and Rias together? And could there be a memory block on him? If so, then it's affecting his sisters too since they share the same mindscape. I better contact Kiyomi-chan and see if she can find that block in their memories so that we can get rid of it." Uzumaki Mansion, Asia's room. Naruto and Naruto is seen talking animatedly to Asia and Rainare, the latter who's dressed in a lacy black maid outfit, a standard outfit for female servants of the Uzumaki clan. Uzumaki Namikaze Siblings Mindscape, Hall of Memories. In the corridor where Naruto and Naruto's childhood memories are located, a door is wrapped around in black chains connected to a lock with a symbol that looks like a phoenix. Or so it looks like. QA Academy, classroom, the next day. My name is Asia Argento. I may still be new to this place, but I'm glad to meet all of you. And my name is Amano Yuuma. I'm also new to this place, and I hope to make friends with you all. As the two girls bowed, the boys cheered, happy that their class has two beautiful girls joining. Hopefully friends who don't think between their legs. Narumi thought, sighing as Motohama started citing their three sizes with his special ability. Hyudo better keep his buddies in check if they want to live. Yes, since Narumi's a second-year student, she's in the same class as the perverted trio, they're all second-year students as well, much to the redhead's chagrin. Luckily she made with the other girls in class like Katase and Murayama from the Kendo Club and Kiryu Ika, who has a similar ability as Motohama, as in calculating a boy's manhood. "Ne, where are you staying?" Matsuda asked, drawing a tick mark from Narumi. "We're currently staying with the Uzumaki clan at their residence," Asia said with a smile. As some of the boys cried, making Narumi giggle as the other girls gathered around Asia and Rainare in her Amano Yuuma form to converse with them. "Mao, how come that jerk gets all these chances?" Matsuda wailed, but was silenced with a kick to the face by Narumi. "Maybe it's because he doesn't think with his other head like most of you boys do, you moron." Narumi snapped before turning to where the girls are and smiled, "That's good. Looks like they'll get along just fine." Narumi was originally worried that her female classmates would be hostile to Asia and Rainare since they live with her and her fellow siblings, but it appears not to be the chance, and their feelings are genuine. "Narumi, that Yuuma girl looks familiar," Issei said, "is that Dash?" "Yes, that's Rainare. Don't get any ideas, Hyudo," Narumi said, making Issei jump. "I wasn't thinking anything, I swear," he protested. "Months of kicking your ass says otherwise." And whilst joining the Occult Research Club, Rainare's joining SIDC, and she thinks of Asia like a little sister, so I would warn your buddies if I were you, she countered, making Issei cry anime tears. Forest Path, late evening. Naruto, Naruko, Narumi, Naruhei, Naruna, Hinata, Ibana, Ino, Nia, Asia, and Rainare were walking through the forest area, almost at their destination, that is the Uzumaki mansion. "So, how was your first day at school, Asia-chan?" Naruko asked her fellow blonde. "You and Rainare must be exhausted." "Not at all. Everyone in Narumi's class was nice to me," Asia replied cheerfully. "How about you, Rainare-san?" Hinata asked the fallen angel Ravenette, who groaned. "While it was a good experience, I just wish that those two meatbags that are Hyudo's friends didn't badger me while Narumi was not around." "You didn't kill them, did you?" Naruto asked with a grin. "No. They were begging me and Asia here to come to some kind of gentleman's gathering. Gentleman's gathering?" Asia asked, confused. "Just ignore that. It's just a gather of desperate boys exchanging tips on how to get a date with a girl while thinking with their other heads." "Don't ask," Ino remarked. "Oh." Asia nodded while Rainare snickered. "So, I heard you had your big debut tonight. What kind of client did you have?" Naruto inquired, a bit concerned. "It was someone who wanted me to dress up for a photo shoot. Konako went with me as well since it was her usual client," Asia explained, with the others looking relieved. "Cosplay, hi." Naruhei smirked as she looked Asia up and down. "I can definitely see that." "Hi." Asia nodded, but at first, Issei-san wanted to go in my place since he says I still need to be familiar with this country, but Buku overruled him and sent him off to a new client. "No doubt he's experiencing an inferiority complex since you're a bishop and he's a pawn," Naruto guessed, shrugging his shoulders. "Don't worry about it." "Oh, hi." The rest of the trip consisted on guessing what other kinds of clients the other members of the Occult Research Club catered to. QA Academy, PE class, the next day. Outside, the second-year's students were getting ready for their physical education class. The girls were helping each other stretch, but the boys. "Listen, the bloomers will looks like panties if you concentrate hard enough." "I see it, Motohama." "I can see it too." The blue bloomers were white before I knew it. Unfortunately, their conversation was heard by the enhanced hearing of an irked redhead. Growling, she kicked the soccer balls she's been practicing with and kicked them hard over to the two members of the perverted trio, the ball embedding into their faces and knocking them out cold. Nice shot, Narumi-sama, Rainare cheered as she finished teaching Asia how to stretch, though I'm surprised that you didn't hit Hyudu-ise. It looks like he has other things on his mind besides our womanly assets for once. And please, drop the sama when we're in school, okay? Narumi replied. Hi, Narumi-san. Rainare said, correcting herself, making the redhead sigh. Mao. You could have least added Chan. Narumi mumbled. School infirmary. Naruto was tired. He just finished a stack of paperwork and turned it into the school administration. He would go to catch a few Zs back in the office, but the infirmary is closer. Opening the door, he looked around to see the 25-year-old school nurse who's also the advisor to the SIDC. She has brown hair, dark brown eyes, a pretty face, an hourglass figure with E-cup breasts, wearing an open doctor's coat over a black corset and a black mini-skirt. She is the cousin of Hyudu Issei and a senjutsu in the making, the lovely Hyudu Rei. Hey, Rei-sensei. Busy day? Naruto asked as he stepped into the infirmary. Oh, hey, Naruto-kun. Just when I thought I was going to have another boring day, you show up to brighten it. Rei said brightly, turning away from the book she was reading, unless of course, you came to sleep, again. Sorry sweetheart, but it's the former. Next time I come over, I'll be sure to fulfill your every fantasy. Naruto countered as he went over to an empty bed and collapsed onto it. Smart ass. Rei whispered, blushing at his innuendo while going over to cover Naruto's bed with the curtain, then went back to read her book. Still, I wish that you were my cousin instead of my idiot one, maybe even more. 2 hours later. Naruto-kun, get up. Didn't you say that you were going to go to your last class for the day? Come on, wake up. Kagura shouted, the mindscape shaking and making Naruto snap his eyes open. You're just sore because you didn't get any last night, he teased her, making her sputter. He was about to move when he felt a pair of arms wrapped around his waist, and his hand on something soft and squishy, a feeling he's all too familiar with. Looking over his shoulder, he saw his friend Akeno, clan in her underwear, hugging him from behind. Turning his head back, he saw Rias in the nude, sleeping peacefully as her friend. The only thing that alarmed Naruto was the fact that both their devil wings were out. Livin' the dream. Naruto whispered to himself, smirking, then took his hand off Rias' large breasts as he gave a huge yawn. When he opened his eyes, he found himself looking into Rias' crimson ones. Afternoon sunshine. There are other beds, you know. Naruto said wryly. I know. Rias responded, then gave a small yawn. I was feeling a little languid, so I thought I'd take a little nap. Then I found you and Akeno sleeping here. For the record, I was by myself at first when I fell asleep. And your wings are out too. Naruto said, making Rias look behind herself. Oh, oops, she giggled as she recalled them back, then turned back to Naruto. I didn't disturb your sleep, did I? If Akeno-chan didn't wake me up, you sure didn't. Naruto assured her, but I do have one question. Why are you naked? I'm not injured or anything. Sorry. Actually, I can't fall asleep unless I'm in the nude. Rias said as Akeno started stirring behind Naruto, it's always been like that like me. Hi. I like her already. Maybe I should try it. Kiyomi said, giggling, while Arwen and Karami just shook their heads. Local park, the next day. Kaa-san, what's that? A little girl asked, holding her mother's hand. Don't look, she sternly replied, as she and her little girl passed a pair of blonde twins who were sitting on a tree. Naruto and Naruko have seen a lot of things in their 17 years on Earth. Normal things. Dumb things. Brainless things. Crazy things. Awkward things. Even embarrassing things. Hell, they thought the things they saw on their missions take the cake, like that awesome gun-like scabbard that Cyborg Ninja had when he fought their ally Raiden. But they forgot one thing. They live in their home country of Japan. which is why they're looking on dumbfounded at a scene that reminded them of one of the shows in Narumi's favorite series, Super Sentai. More specifically Samurai Sentai Shinkenger. There were black flags with a white circle on them, and a huge white banner with black lines and a circle. Standing in front of the banner was someone dressed from head to toe in samurai armor, and next to the individual was Rias and Issei. "Hey Naruto nii, what the hell is going on here?" Naruto asked, her eyebrow twitching. "Your guess is as good as mine, Naruto." Naruto groaned and looked around. "I don't see any cameras around, so I doubt they're filming a scene. If I had to take a wild guess, I think it's Rias-chan and Aragaki helping that chick in the armor." Naruto blinked. "That's a girl in that armor? That mask she's using says otherwise. Trust me, I see curly hair coming from the back of her helmet. That's a girl." Just then, Issei gave a shout and pointed ahead, making the twins turn to look at what he was pointing at. What they saw made them rub their eyes to make sure they're seeing right, as a man donned in silver knight armor and an arrow stuck in his helmet made his way towards the samurai and the devils. "Well, this is interesting," Naruto muttered, while his twin sweat dropped as they focused their ears to hear what going on as tree leaves scattered throughout the scene, making it more dramatic. "I have read your letter. It was a wonderful message," the man in the silver armor praised. The girl in the samurai armor squeaked. "I'm amazed you caught me off guard and shot me with an arrow, and what a ladder it was. Oh no, all I was thinking was how to get it to you, Horii-kun. This can't be a confession," Naruto cried, her eyes widening. "Though sending a love letter via arrow like in the old days is a nice touch. Beats stuffing it in a locker," Naruto pointed out as they saw Horii walk towards the girl in samurai armor. I want to go out with you if you don't mind," Horii said, grabbing the armor-clad girl's hands gently. "Ho Horii-kun. I'm so happy," the girl said happily. "Susan!" Horii cried, embracing her, "Your armor is wonderful. Wow, your armor is also so hard and sturdy." Susan praised her new lover. "And here I thought I saw it all," Naruto said, shaking her head. "I do have to admit that that little scene was entertaining. The world we live in can be such an interesting place," Naruto remarked with amusement. "I second that," Naruto agreed as they hopped off the tree and walked off, happy that everything turned out okay despite the unique of the scene. "No doubt if you join the club that you'll get some interesting clients like that. What say you? Still on the shelf about it? Considering everything that's happened in the past week, I really haven't thought much on her offer. But it's been days since the fallen angel incident. What's keeping you?" Naruto asked, only to receive a shrug from Naruto as he rubbed his head, much to her confusion. "Occult Research Club, later that day after school." "So, you both were there for that?" Rias asked, surprised. "Yeah. Devil contacts are weird," Naruto said, nodding. "Maybe it's just Aragaki's." Naruto piped up, making Issei face fault. "So, is that them?" Naruhei asked, as she and Narumi looked over Rias' shoulder to see a picture of the armored couple in the park. "Naruto's right, that is weird. They look like the perfect couple," Narumi said, making Naruhei raised an eyebrow. Naruto-kun. Hi. How does it feel being in a romantic relationship with the girls you love?" Rias asked. "Well, it's like being with family and friends on an affectionate level. It actually makes me feel really happy that I'm loved since the girls want to share their lives with me," Naruto answered before inwardly sweat dropping. "Man, I'm so bad at stuff like this." "Don't worry, Naruto-kun. Keeping it short and sweet is better than a complex answer," Kiyomi assured him. Otauto/Naruto nii/Unii-chan. Naruhei, Naruko, Narumi, and Naruna thought, happy that they're brother of them and their loved ones that way. "Happy, hi." Rias whispered to herself. "Also, you should never go out with someone who doesn't feel the same way," Naruto added, his mind wandering back to a certain pink-haired girl who was originally Naruto friends after he saved her from buddies, but only to suddenly flip the other cheek and turn on him, and instead go after a certain joke of a duck-butt-haired runt. "Take it from experience." "I see. Thank you. I appreciate the answer," Rias said, Bowing slightly. Keh, don't get a talk show about love, Naruto nii. Naruto said, giggling. Hey, I answered the best I could. Naruto said, pouting, making his sisters and Rias laugh. By the way, Issei, Rias said, turning her attention to her down pawn, didn't you want to talk about something? At last, Issei was suddenly back on his feet. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Now's the time for her part of the deal. Beside, it's not like SIDC will stop since she made that promise. It's about the promise we made last time. Promise? Rias said, looking confused, did we ever make a promise? About your boobs, he responded, making the older Uzumaki Namikaze siblings raised their eyebrows. I know. You don't need to be so serious about it. Rias said simply, surprising her perverted servant, all right, until I've counted to 5, my breasts are all yours. But little do you know. As Issei started panicking, Rias started counting, while Naruto and his sister inwardly smirked. That the joke is on you. After Issei's recent failure of getting a contact with a client, Rias stuck him with a deal. If he successfully manages to get a contract from his next client, when she would allow him to touch her breasts, as the ultimatum would get Issei to work harder into getting a contract, and to make sure that he does, she tagged along with him to his next client, Susan. However, Rias had no intention on letting the foolish pervert touch her female assets, and went to SIDC to explain what she was doing, and they were all too happy to help out since the member of the perverted trio's been a thorn in their side in the past, so they had no problem sticking it to him. Besides, the only one who has the right to touch her breasts is Naruto, and by extension, his sisters. Ichi, 1. That's too sudden. Issei protested, but his complaint fell on deaf ears. Nii, 2. Don't tell me he's actually thinking about how to do it. Naruto thought as he figuratively smelled Issei's brain burning, pathetic. San, 3. What a stupid, perverted smile he has, Narumi thought, as Issei moved his fingers left to right. She, 4. Looks like he's finally going for it, Naruto smirked as Issei leapt towards Rias while looking over to her older sister, who just finished one-handed hand seals behind her back, unfortunately for him. Mokuton, wood style, tripping the pervert jutsu. Naruhei thought, as small, square wood piece popped out in front of Issei's feet, tripping him up and making him landing face first onto the floor. At the same time while Naruhei withdrew it, leaving behind no evidence as the door to the club opened. Oh, Naruto Santachi, you're here already? Asia asked as he came in. Sorry we're late. Yumi said, coming in as well, with Konako and Akeno right behind her. What's good? Konako greeted in her monotone rap speak. Hey guys! You just missed the festivities. Naruto said, pointing to the downed Issei and sniggering. Go, 5. Alright, that's it. Too bad, Issei. Rias said apologetically in a slightly mocking way, maybe next time. As if. Era, what happened, Issei? Akeno asked, with Issei's form twitching on the floor. No way, he wailed. I say that went well. Naruto said, clapping his hands, now then, me and my sisters will take our leave. After exchanging goodbyes, the siblings went to go pick up Rainare and head home. But on the way, they did not notice a strange bird flying overhead, looking at them. A/N, I had plans on ending the chapter right here, but I want the filler stuff out of the way so that I can get to the juicy parts in the next few chapters. Naruto's Mindscape, Castle Roof, a few days later. What is wrong, Watashi, me? Naruto frowned as he turned around to find a looming figure wearing a dark silver helmet, a crimson trench coat, metal boots, and a one-handed Zweihander strapped to his back. Menma Izanagi. Naruto said, acknowledging his initial persona associated with the Fool Tarot card. I ask again. What is wrong, Watashi? Why do you ask? You are not acting like you normally do. What do you mean? I always act like myself and you know it. Do not fool yourself. I know what is troubling you since I am you, and it's affecting the way you fight. I still win. But how long will that trend continue, me? How long can you continue until those close to you, suffer. Naruto's eyes widened as Menma Izanaga's body started fading slightly. Menma Izanaga, your body. There is nothing to fear, Watashi. Open your eyes. Naruto's bedroom, 3 a.m. The force of Menma Izanaga's shouting threw Naruto out of the mindscape, making his eyes snap open. Sitting up, he notices Satsuki lying next to him, naked and fast asleep. How long can you continue until those close to you suffer? Summoning a shadow clone and substituting it with himself so that Satsuki won't be rudely awakened, Naruto staggered to his personal bathroom, holding his head. Pouring a cup of water, he downed it and looked himself in the mirror, scowling at himself. There is nothing to fear, Watashi. Open your eyes. Damn it, I know I shouldn't be acting like this. During that fight with Fried and my first encounter with Rainella, I shouldn't have taken those hits they managed to dish out. What the hell's wrong with me? Kyoa Academy, girls' locker room, later in the afternoon. Konako-chan. It looks like you're growing a bit. You think so? In the girls' locker room, Naruna, in her 15-year-old form, is with her class who were all changing into their gym uniforms. Just now, she was complimenting Konako's growing chest, which has slightly swelled, if only a bit. As she stripped naked out of her school uniform to change herself, her ears twitched as she suddenly heard the faintest sounds of what sounded like perverted giggling. Narrowing her eyes, she sniffed the air, and was irked to find a few scents that were not female. Even worse, she recognized their scents. Uni-sama and Oni-sama were right. Stupidity can't be cured. Naruna-san? What's wrong, Naruna-san? Naruna turned over to see Konako looking at her with concern. Discreetly, Naruna jabbed her thumb towards the locker where the scents are coming from. Glancing at said locker, Konako nodded at the half-blonde half-redhead as they both put on their shirts and bloomers. Then they went to the offending locker, and Konako violently punched it, created a fist-sized dent. This small fist. It can't be, a voice exclaimed from within, a voice both Naruna and Konako know all too well, making the latter punch the locker again with her other fist, destroying the locker door as two of the perverted trio, Matsuda and Motohama, who were out of it due to the force of Konako's punches, fell out of it and revealed their comrade-in-arms Issei, who was backed into the corner of the locker. Matsuda! Motohama! Issei cried before looking face to face with Naruna and Konako, who both looking at him with neutral expressions. Hey, Konako-chan, Naruna-chan. Fancy meeting you two here. Unfortunately for him, the young descendant of Sparta and Rias Rook were in no mood for niceties. While Naruna knew about Issei from her siblings talking about school life at Kyoa Academy, Konako, being the usual unwanted target of the perverted trio's addicts, held her fellow peerage member in complete and total disdain. You are the worst. Konako said in her trademark monotone voice as she cracked her knuckles. Save this to your neural memory. Naruna said in a deadpanned voice, raising her hand with electricity flowing through it. The next few minutes consisted of girlish screams of extreme pain coming from the girls' locker room. Occult Research Club, some time later. Mao, that Issei. Why must he always get into situations like that? Rias groaned, put her hand on her face. A beat-up Issei had come into the club looking for Asia, who was there at the time, but she was under strict orders from Naruna herself not to heal Issei in any way from the beating he got from her and Konako. Instead, Asia warned Issei that SIDC were looking for him for what he did, causing him to dash out of the club in fear, and instead ran into a wandering Naruhei, who just captured his two friends. You can imagine what happened next. Despite all the good remarks his clients made about him, he's still the same annoying pervert before his death. Which is why he's only good for cannon fodder, like Naruto-kun said. He is a glutton for punishment after all. Akeno commented darkly. She still hasn't forgiven Issei and his two buddies for attempting to steal her underwear from her locker in the girls' changing room, and probably never will. Ever. What's on your mind, Bucko? Is it Naruto-kun? Am I that easy to read? SAA, but I have the same look when thinking about him as well. You really like him a lot, do you? Hi, just as much as you. But Bucko, considering the current circumstances Akeno. Even if I'm with that man, even if he claims my body, my heart will forever belong to Naruto-kun. It has then, it has now, and it will be forever. Hi, Bucko. Spoken like a girl truly after Naruto's heart, like me. Then, please excuse me. Alright. Good work today. After Akeno left the room, Rias got up from her desk to look out the window, her mind wrapped in her thoughts. Then she was snapped out of it by a sudden glow behind her that is a silver-colored version of the Gremory family seal, making Rias' eyes narrow in anger at her new visitor. Uzumaki Mansion, basement, Animus Room, evening. Otauto, are you okay? My head's buzzing but I think I'm fine. In the basement, Naruto sat up in the easy chair he was in that was connected to the three-dimension virtual reality machine that is the Animus, taken from the now-defunct Abstergo Industries and upgraded by Spiral Corp that allows the user to experience one of their ancestors' life, and wiped the sweat off his forehead. My movements in there felt slow and glitchy, and there were some points that I nearly got desynchronized, twice. Naruto said as he held his head, is there something wrong with Dash? Naruhei shook her head, nope. The system's fine because we've checked it this morning. Even I used it and it was working perfectly, which is why I'm asking if you're okay, because last time you were on this, you were fine, and this time for some reason your synchronization levels were fluctuating. Honestly, I don't know what's wrong, Naruhei. But maybe a nap will help clear my head so I can understand just what the hell happened. As Naruto left, Naruhei looked back at the screen where a scan she started finished, and the results were less than encouraging. Naruto's so gonna hear it from me if I come out of the Animus and it responds to me just fine, she growled as she set up a session in the Animus for herself on the computer. Naruto's bedroom, some time later. Naruto sat cross-legged on his massive bed, eyes closed while frowning in concentration as he meditated. Lately, he started to notice that something was wrong with him, and with Naruhei vaguely pointing it out and fuzzy synchronization levels from the Animus, Naruto went into his mindscape in astral form to investigate. Activating Sage Mode, he focused on sensing anything out of the ordinary in the mindscape, and sensed something faint that doesn't belong. Tracing it, he was then less than thrilled to find the source coming from the Hall of Memories in the castle sector. But what really alarmed Naruto was that the source had branched out in vines throughout the mindscape. If this has anything to do with my concerns, I'll gonna be so pissed, and more so at Kiyomi, Kwamai, Kagura, and Arwen for not noticing. But before he could do anything else or alert the beings in his personal mindscape, a sudden spike of magical energy in the real world interrupted him, making his astral form disappear and knocking him out of his meditation. Whipping out Blue Rose, he pointed it at the source, a glowing red magic circle with the seal belonging to the Gremory clan. Upon seeing it, Naruto put the double-barreled gun away and hopped off his bed as the form of Rias Gremory took shape. As the light died down and the magic circle disappeared from the ground, Naruto noticed the distraught look on her face. Rias-chan, judging by the look on your face, I doubt you've come by for a pop call. Naruto remarked as Rias walked towards him, what's the matter? Naruto-kun. She whispered, before wrapping her arms around her crush. Okay, something is wrong. Naruto thought as he felt the redhead trembling as she hugged him, Rias-chan dash. Please sleep with me. You're gonna have to be more specific than that. Naruto deadpanned, as that phrase has two meanings, and he was hoping it was the abstinence meaning. Wait, why the hell did he think that? My virginity. Please take my virginity right now. This is urgent, she cried, shocking Naruto as she stepped back and began undressing herself out of her school uniform. Whoa, wait a sec. Naruto shouted, trying to stop Rias from exposing herself in front of him. First she suddenly shows up without a warning with her face in turmoil, hugs him as if she was vulnerable, and out of the blue, begs him to have sex with him and take her virginity while undressing herself in the process? Yep, something is definitely wrong. Am I not good enough, Naruto-kun? Blatantly ignoring the tightening feeling in his pants, Naruto quickly shot a black web ball at Rias just as she unstrapping her bra, bounding her hands together. Rias-chan, while sleeping with you is appealing, barging into my room in the state you're in kills the mood. You're going to tell me what the hell is doing on, and you're going to tell me what the hell is going on right fucking now. So spill. Naruto snapped firmly. Naruto-kun, please. You're the only one who can help me. I've considered all other options, but this is the only way dash. If something like this is done then there's no turning back and there's nothing they can say. Among those close to me, there's no one other than you who could do it with me, and that damn perverted boy Issei would be no good at all. Beside, he won't be able to complain once we've sealed the deal. Eep. Rias squeaked as Naruto put his hands on her shoulder. Ah, wait. It's my first time so I'm still inexperienced at this, so please dash. He won't be able to complain once we've sealed the deal? Rias, who's after you that making you act like this? All you need to do is to tell me so that I can do everything in my power to stop it. It's not because of my duty as the boss of SIDC, but it's we're friends, and friends are there for each other. Whoever his guy is, I won't let him have his way with you. Naruto declared as he hugged her close. Naruto-kun. Rias cried, resting her head on his crest, but before she could say more. You think by doing this sort of thing that the engagement would be broken? The voice alarmed Naruto as he summoned Blue Rose again as a silver magic circle with the Gremory clan seal appeared on the floor of Naruto's room, its light drawing Naruto and Rias' attention, and the latter sighing in defeat when she saw it. So close. Looks like we were a tad too late. Rias whispered, looking at Naruto with sorrowful eyes before using her power of destruction to destroy the black webbing binding her hands as a figure materialized from the magic circle. The individual is a beautiful woman who's 5 foot 8 inches and in her early 20s, with silver hair flowing all the way down to her back and features a long braid on each side with small blue bows at the ends, while the rest is let down, ending in twin braids, matching silver eyes, DD-cup breasts, and wearing a blue and white French-made outfit with long sleeves and a white-made headband over her head and red lipstick. Don't interfere. If I don't do this, then Otasama and Uni-sama won't listen to me. Right, Graphia? With such a commoner of lowly birth, Master and Surtsk-sama will be crestfallen, the silver-haired woman named Graphia said, looking at the bare-naked Rias. Commoner of low birth. Naruto thought, outraged and steaming as Rias faced the silver-haired woman and glared at her. My body and my chastity belongs to me. What's wrong with giving it to the person I loved all my life? Rias asked coolly, also, I won't let anyone dare call my precious person a commoner of lowly birth. Not even you, my Uni-sama's strongest queen. Rias-chan. Graphia looked at her before she started to pick Rias' clothes off the floor. Regardless, this is hardly acceptable behavior for you, the heiress apparent of the Gremory clan, especially now of all times. Please take better care of yourself. Graphia chided her, put Rias' school shirt on her before turning to Naruto and bowed slightly, pleased to make your acquaintance, young man. I am the servant of the Gremory household, Graphia. Please forgive the insult I've made earlier. Sure, Graphia-san. Naruto said while still a bit irked, wow, she even looks like one of the two Hawaii.I.S Spiral Corp has. I believe her name was Izayoi Sakura. Even so. Graphia, did you come here by your own will, Otasama's will, or is it by Uni-sama's will? All of the above. Graphia answered. I see. You, who are Uni-sama's queen, personally came to the human world with just that. I understand. Naruto-kun. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking clearly. Let forget this ever happened. Rias said sadly. Yeah, I agree. Let's forget this embarrassing moment of weakness. Naruto said in a discreet, sarcastic way, before suddenly exploding, like hell I'm gonna do that, baka. But Naruto-kun dash. Rias protested, but Naruto was having none of it. But nothing. You're in an engagement that you don't want to be in. Why am I hearing about this just now? I could have helped you. Hell, I can still help you. Don't you trust me? I do trust you, but there's nothing I can do about what's happening. I have no influence over the engagement since my father and Uni-sama are involved. Rias protested, I'm sorry, Naruto-kun, but it's out of my hands. Naruto would have said more, but his retort was interrupted by a surprised Graphia. Naruto? Then he is that person. Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto Sparta, son of Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina. I'm Rias-chan's classmate and friend and the leader of Kyoa Academy's Special Investigation and Disciplinary Committee. I'm also the holder of the Red Emperor Gauntlet, the boosted gear, and the descendant of the legendary Dark Knight Sparta, along with many other powerful beings, if you care to know. Naruto introduced himself as he summoned his boosted gear and Devil Bringer to prove his claims. The one who he and his sisters are classified as Twilight Celestial with multiple bloodlines. Graphia nodded in understanding. It seems I really spoke out of place when I called you a commoner of lowly birth when it's completely the opposite. Once again, I apologize, Naruto-san. In my defense, I was merely teleporting to where Ajisama was without knowing her location. Water under the bridge. Naruto mumbled, his annoyance dying a bit, but that's beside the point. Let's talk at my place. We can have our discussion there. Do you mind if Akeno comes with us? Rias asked Graphia. The Priestess of Thunder? I don't mind. It is expected of upper-class devils to have their queens be at their side at all times. Graphia replied, with Rias nodding in confirmation and turned back to Naruto. Sorry for bothering you, Naruto-kun. No problem, but at least let me help you. Naruto offered, but Rias shook her head. Let's just call it quits for tonight, she said, kissing Naruto on his cheek before walking to the magic circle next to Graphia. I'll head back first, Graphia. See you at school, Naruto-kun. Stepping into her magic circle, she disappeared, but Naruto caught a glimpse of her face as she left. She was crying. She was crying because of what awaited her in the future, and there's nothing that can be done to stop it. And it was pissing him off something fierce. Ajisama talked about you a lot, ever since she met you as a child. She always talk about how you're the one for her, despite competition with the other girls for your affection. Graphia said, with Naruto frowning at what she said. What did you mean? The first time I've met Rias was a few weeks ago. I've never met her when we were kids. Naruto said, now making Graphia frown herself. Impossible. Didn't you and Ajisama attend the same school, Konoha Academia, in the past? Graphia asked, as an unnatural light flashed for a moment in Naruto's eyes. Rias went to Konoha Academia, with me. Naruto asked, shocked before a sharp pain ran through his skull. Gah! He suddenly grunted in pain as he held his head, his brain starting to throb in his skull. In his mindscape, everything started to shake, waking the tenants up. What going on? Kiyomi cried. I don't know, but I'm going to find out. Arwen shouted as she took to the air to look for the source. Meanwhile outside, Graphia was alarmed at what's happening and examined Naruto closely, putting her hands on his head. This is... she thought as Naruto started to recover. Oh man, what happened? He asked, confused. You don't remember? Graphia asked, concerned. I do remember seeing Rias crying as she left, but after that is just a blank. Naruto said, shaking his head, but something tells me you can fill it in. Graphia scowled, those symptoms. It's more than a memory block. Someone doesn't want Rias-sama and Naruto-san together. It's not the Phoenix clan, as they possess mostly offensive magic, and they barely have any mages with spells concerning memories, so who? Graphia-san. Naruto-san. Please help Ajisama however you can. She'll need you now, more than ever. We shall meet again. As Graphia started to teleport out, the door to Naruto's room opened, and in came Naruhei, Naruko, Narumi, and Naruna. Before they could stop her, Graphia already disappeared. Otauto, who the hell was that? Naruhei asked, pointing at the spot where Graphia was. Just a mate of Rias' family. That's all. Naruto responded, then noticed that Naruko and Narumi were holding their heads and sweating. Naruko, Narumi, are you dash? We're fine, it's just a killer headache. Since it came on so suddenly and hit us both at the same time, we were worried about you and came to check on you. What happened? Naruko asked. I'll explain in the morning. Naruto said flatly as he collapsed on his bed and immediately fell asleep, dwelling on what happened between him, Rias, and Graphia. Ending theme, Study by Stylopes. Kyoa Academy, afternoon. Rias-chan is in an engagement with someone who she don't want to be with? Am I hearing that right? Naruto asked, horrified. Yep. She wanted to have sex with me so that she could try to break it off, but she got caught by Grafia, the one you saw leaving my room. Naruto replied. In the morning, the girls went to school in the morning, but Naruto stayed behind and slept well into the afternoon. After having a quick lunch, he made a beeline to the SIDC office at Kyoa Academy, where his sisters were waiting with questions. We've got to do something. Naruto said in an urgent tone. What can we do? Naruna asked, it sounds way out of our hands. That's the beauty of SIDC. We can help students from problems outside Kyoa Academy. First, we need to get the full story behind this engagement, and see what kind of guy Rias-chan's family wants her to marry. Naruto said with his sisters nodding in agreement. Obviously it's no one here at Kyoa. If I remember correctly, Rias-san is a high-class pure-blood devil, so you know what that mean. Narumi said with a groan, with her siblings understanding. Pure blood, huh? This is gonna be a problem. No doubt this is an internal affair with the House of Gremory and the other house. Naruna-chan's right, this may be out of our hands. Naruhei said, gritting her teeth. And since when has something like that stop us? Naruto asked with a smirk, with Naruhei smiled. Definitely not. Naruhei agreed, shaking her head, let's head to the Occult Research Club. Otauto, maybe you can bargain with Akeno. If you win a chess match, then she spills everything she knows. Or I can simply ask her in private while you girls keep Rias-chan busy. Naruto suggested. I like that plan better. We can tell Rias-chan cool stories with Unai-chan as the star. Narua piped up excitedly. That'll work. Naruhei agreed. Well, let's go then. Naruto said as they moved towards the door. When they got to the door, their senses suddenly picked up a powerful, malevolent wave of energy, putting them all on edge. What the? An attack? Naruto asked, looking around. It's coming from the direction of the Occult Research Club. Let's move. Naruto said before disappearing via Hiraishin along with his sisters. Within seconds, the Uzumaki Namikaze siblings arrived at the old school building where the club. Due to the unfriendly malevolent power they were feeling, they each took out a copy of Blue Rose, their SWAT training now taking over as they entered the building and went upstairs and up to the door where they heard voices on the other side of the door where the club room is. Razor, I swear I'll blast you away. I'm looking forward to it, my lovely Rias. We'll meet again for the game then. The siblings felt immense heat from behind the door. Feels like they're leaving. Let's go. Knocking open the door, the 5 Uzumaki Namikaze siblings swarmed in, guns drawn and pointing at the circle of fire that then made them shield their faces as an evil and arrogant-sounding laugh came from the fire. This fire, it's hotter than a phoenix's flame. Naruto exclaimed, wincing from the heat. Definitely not Inari-san coming to visit. Naruto added. When the fire died down, the brother and sisters put away their guns and finally had a clear view of the room, seeing an upset Rias standing next to the stoic Grafia, the Akeno, Konako, and Yumi looking tense, Asia looking scared, and Issei knocked out on the floor. Naruto-kun. Looks like we've missed the party, Rias-chan. Unknown to everyone in the room, behind Rias' desk, was a little redhead girl who witnessed everything before Naruto and his sisters came in.